Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of a very cold day again. What's going on? I thought it was supposed to be warm. No, it's not supposed to be warm. Actually, tonight, if I look ahead, tonight's actually not as bad. Temperatures can be around 30 for the low. You say, what? That seems balmy, but it's not 30 now. No. In fact, we've got low temperatures have dropped into the single digits. I'll take this full screen so you can see what I'm talking about. It's dropped down to 3 in La Follette, 7 Middlesboro, and it's been as low as 7 Morristown and Oak Ridge. Now, as compared to maybe Crossville at 15, that seems a little bit maybe easier to take than a 10. But these are the low temperatures as we've recorded, at least at McGee, Tyson 10 and 7 in Oak Ridge. So it's been very, very cold. Maybe not as cold as it was yesterday morning, but all things considered, it's tough. Here are the current readings, right? Some of us have moved a degree or two. It's now 18 in Crossville. It's now 6 in Rockwood and 7 in Morristown. So our lows haven't maybe settled in just yet because there's still some cooling, in quotation marks, that could still take place. It's 6:41. So happy that you're here. It's 14 degrees in Newport. And if you're in Athens, good morning to you. McMinn County, you are 10 degrees. I'm on YouTube, on Facebook. If you've got comments, you've got questions, you have concerns, lay them on me. I'll answer them as best I can, and if I don't get it during the live session, I'll do my best to answer them online. Wanted Post says, David, to have snow, but not these cold temperatures. She's not maybe fond of the teens. If you're on Facebook, on YouTube, love to see what you've got going on. I'll switch over the tab. Marilyn Bell says another heat wave today. We're headed to the upper 30s, because yesterday, you know I'm a note taker. Yesterday's high was 25. We started off at 0, so we're already doing better in that category. And the record low is 0 today from 1994. Obviously, as you look at these temperatures, we're nowhere near 0. So, yes, it's cold, but maybe not record territory cold. 10 is our temperature in Athens, 9 in Madisonville, and it's currently 12 in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. Notice 18 in Jamestown. That's also a little milder, and those arrows are pushing some of that warmth in quotation marks this way. All things relative. Now, the feels like temperature or the wind chill, they're both the same thing, shows a lot of purple, which is indicative usually of a wind chill that feels like it's in the single digits, but it actually feels like it's 6 in Oneida, 5 in Kingston and Rockwood, and 11 in Crossville. Those are current where we have some wind, which is why I was drumming the beat, or beating the drum, of how to avoid frozen pipes. If you haven't, maybe it's never too late, go ahead and open up the cabinetry in the bathrooms and the kitchen, because this will help warm the pipes. Keep the heat on, and if not at home, keep the temperature at a minimum of 55 degrees. Just some good tips. Frozen pipes, how to avoid drip the faucets. I know it may be annoying. Sometimes it's like, oh, are we still doing that? Yes, as long as it's this cold. You want to, anytime you're near or below 20, it's a good idea to have the pipes drip. Have the faucets drip, and certainly have the cabinetry open. So just some tips just to throw out your way. By the way, the Ultimate Doppler Radar, presented by Madlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, serving East Tennessee now since 1953. If you need a new set of tires, maybe you need an oil change, Madlock Tire Service is here to serve you. We're going to talk about that winter weather advisory here in a moment, but there is no precipitation at the moment. East Tennessee's #1 tire service and auto repair since 1953. They've got 5 convenient locations. They're in Knoxville, they're in Maryville, Lenore City. They're also located in Athens on South Congress Parkway there in Athens, and Hardin Valley on Hardin Valley Road. Very easy to find. Check them out. You may be in need of an oil change down the road, and certainly they can help you with a great set of tires. Great set of tires this winter starts with Madlock. Now you'll notice all the purple in East Tennessee. That is a winter weather advisory. Doesn't mean it's snow, because this is a teachable moment. People see that and they go, oh, you mean we're getting snow now? No, it just means that we're going to get some mixing. And if you read the copy that's on the Captain Accurate Weather app that's worded by the Weather Service, they are very descriptive about winter weather advisories. Does not always mean snow. It could be snow, combination of sleet, freezing rain, and that's the case here. That's what we're going to get, is a combination. And that mix may be a big disappointment for snow lovers because, well, we had our day on Monday, right? Last Monday was a 6 and a 6.3. Officially, we ended with 8.5 from earlier this week. But there are concerns all across the state for that wintry mix. And there is still snow falling down near Chicago, Detroit, and over toward Buffalo, New York, just to give you an overall view. I like to show you the playing field because all that snow is going to stay up there in this go-around, but we will see some precipitation. So what does this mean? The winter weather advisory actually doesn't even start for like another 12 hours. Well, 12 hours and 15 minutes now at 6:45. It'll start at 7 p.m. And so when you look at this timing frame, this will end at 7 p.m. on Friday. That's the 19th. So we have basically 7 o'clock tonight to 7 p.m. Friday, start and stop time. But if you're in the plateau, the hours are very different. That's why it's so important to have the app. It starts at noon Central Time in Crossville, Jamestown. So if you're in Central Time, it'll go till 9 a.m. Central on Friday. So different start and stop time, but the language is very clear. Mixed precipitation and freezing rain expected. Now they've worded it not up to an inch. Now they worded it as less than an inch. I think you'd be very pressed to find much in the way of snow. This would be like, man, why did they issue that? Because of the slippery weather. You have black ice this morning on those untreated roads and sidewalks. You're going to have some other issues that may still fall from the sky today. We're going to get into that here in a moment. If you're in the Smokies, you're traveling through the Smokies, gusts could climb up to 45 miles per hour, as worded from the Weather Service. And the snowfall may be up to 4 inches. That's their expectation, with up to or around, they said around, a tenth of an inch of ice. So up to a tenth of an inch of ice for the Smokies, around up to 4 inches. I think it could be higher by the time we get into Saturday, but this is what they expect. And I just wanted to lay that out, what is on the table. Now, I didn't show you this. How about future sleet? You mean you can show us future sleet? Yeah, where's it going to be sleety? Oh, icy pellets might be there in orange. And it's just enough to cause some misery to any driver that might be on the road later today or tonight, tomorrow. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And as far as future, I believe we have future freezing rain. We got accumulated snow. But if you go into the sleet and icing picture, may not look all that pretty going into this afternoon. Certainly, maybe on the front end of the day. This one's a little slower getting in here, but the model still suggests a little bit of freezing rain in spots. So that's why I say it may be a little challenging to determine exactly what everybody's going to get. But this is my expectation, as I'm going to get to your comments here in just a moment. Thursday afternoon, that's today, and Friday, I expect the horseshoe effect, the horseshoe configuration where it moves all around Knoxville. So we'll emphasize 0 to as much, he says, as much as a half inch. And that half inch of snow may be just the mountains of Granger County, I mean, the hills of Granger County. No snow for Nyota, no snow for Decatur, no snow for Edo. Oh man, I thought we were getting some snow. We're getting some snow if you're in Middlesboro, 1 to 3 plus. We're getting some snow if you're in Jamestown. Half inch on the low end, as much as 2 inches on the high end. And again, 2 to 5 where you see some darker blues in the Smokies and in the higher terrain of southeast Kentucky. If you're on the call, say hi to you. I've got Marilyn Bell on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, I'd love to hear what you're thinking or seeing. I've got some notes from Dennis Hatcher. Good morning. It's a muggy, muggy 12 degrees, he says. I like his sense of humor. Have a great day. Thank you, Dennis. Fred says, good morning, David. We need that brief thaw. It's coming. But then again, hopefully not affecting your pipes. If you did some of the preventive things you could do for free, just open up the cabinetry and drip those faucets. Felicia says, good cold morning from a frozen South Knoxville. Is it frozen in South Knoxville? Of course it is. Of course, you got temperatures that are so cold. She walked 2 miles to the store yesterday. Did you really? You are committed. She said, because we all are iced over, hoping for a thaw out today. Thank you for that update. Wanda Poe talking about some snow, or at least the cold temperatures in the teens. That's where we are, and that's where we're starting off. So my snow forecast has not changed. I still expect a half inch to 2 inches plus for many of the higher terrain in the Smokies, but your Clingman's Dome, your Mount LeConte, your chimney tops may very well get 2 to 5 plus by the time Friday is over. And you say, why? Why do they get all this? Why do they get all the fun? Because we don't live in Knoxville. We don't live at 6,000 feet, right? Mount LeConte, Clingman's Dome, 6,500 feet, 6,600 feet. Even Pigeon Forge is higher up than Knoxville. Knoxville is just under 900 feet above sea level. So again, temperatures are a big role, the temperature and elevation. So when you get that wedge of warm air, we're going to get some sleet. When that warm air gets a little thicker in the column, and you get more freezing rain, and that just looks like rain, smells like rain. It freezes on contact. And we had that experience on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, Junior Day, when we had some of that mixing in Sevierville white pine, for example. So we feel like we know the drill. By the way, tracking the clouds, they've been increasing across Kentucky overnight. This is a review over the last 6 hours, and my expectation is that we will find some hazy sun when the sun does come up today, but it will cloud over pretty quickly, and by the time we get to the afternoon, precip will magically appear. Tracking some clouds, they're doing that a little bit more to the north across Kentucky, and maybe a little more hazy sun developing this morning in maybe the Southern Valley. Temperatures again, if you're just joining me, it is now 6:49. It's 11 in Knoxville. we've been as low as 10. It's 7 in Oak Ridge. We've been as low there, I believe, as 7. So we're still kind of modifying or still determining how low we're going to go this morning, but we won't drop much more as those clouds roll in and the winds out of the southwest continue. We'll start to rise into the teens and 20s pretty quickly this morning. Wind speeds, obviously not an issue, but where they're moving about 5 or 6 miles an hour. I have winds today 3 to 8. They'll be light and variable to start, but 3 to 8. So those wind chills at the moment feel like 4 in Maryville, 4 in Sevierville. It feels like about 9 currently in Jamestown. But we are getting warmer in Fentress County. Woohoo! It's 24 degrees warmer now in Jamestown, Fentress County, than it was this time yesterday. And 7 degrees warmer in Knoxville compared to 6 a.m. on Wednesday, because today is Thursday. Here's the temperature around the region, around the state. 6 or maybe 11 in Knoxville, 8 in Johnson City, and it's 17 in Nashville. So those are our current readings. If you're traveling today, please be extra careful because, again, untreated roads can be very slippery. The black ice will get you if you're not careful, even just walking to the mailbox. Sunrise and sunset today, 7:44. I think we'll find some high clouds like you see pictured here, and then the sun will go down at 5:48. Got a couple of notes from you. Just want to check in. See Brenda, she's got 3 degrees in Newcomb. Thank you very much for Brenda Perkins giving me that update. What is the timing on all this? Coming in between 3 and 6. That's what I expect, Jen. I posted that on Facebook last night. I haven't changed on my timing, but it's coming in from west to east. So it might be closer to 6 or even 7 or 8 before it gets to Greenville. But it'll be coming in maybe closer to 1 or 2 or 3 because it's a noon start. Noon start for Crossville and Fentress County and Jamestown. Janet Potts says, please be careful walking out there. With all the ice, everyone, I spent 3 hours plus at the emergency room yesterday. Oh, dear. And ended up with 3 stitches. Oh, that is not fun to hear. Sorry about that. It's 3 stitches on my forehead and smashed my glasses. Janet, please be extra careful. Every step you take, you got to be extra careful in this type of weather because if you're not used to it, and we haven't had it for a while, this is the outcome if we're not careful. And, of course, the pets and your neighbors, whether they're elderly or not, everybody is affected by this cold weather. Now, my animation for the 18th of January looks great and realistic until you get to the fact that I see green grass. So we'll just pretend that this neighbor that we're looking at the window here did all the shoveling last night, and they mowed, they didn't mow, they shoveled their grass too because there's no signs of snow on the ground. But the temperatures are realistic, right? We'll be around 20 at 10 and 36 at 2. And for the question I got from Jen Adkins, what is the timing on this? I'll show you the future cast here coming up in mere moments. It's 6:52. My goal is to be done at the top of the hour. Today I'm expecting a high of 38. Yes, a nice little fall because we haven't been above freezing for quite some time. Multiple days now. 36, a high in La Follette is achievable. But we've got some PM snow rain mix with some freezing rain. Ugh, yeah, that's no fun. And we saw some sleet in our future sleet animation. 39 in Newport. Looking for a high today of 34. So it looks like if there's a chance to get above 40, it would be in the Southern Valley. I'm looking at Athens. I'm looking at Tellico Plains at 45. With enough of a southwest breeze, they may get into the 40s, but I suspect most of us will stop in the upper 30s today. Snow rain mix today in the afternoon and evening. Then we go from a mix to snow showers if there's anything to be found at all in Knoxville. Because if you're in Knoxville, lower your expectation. Before you say, man, you said we're going to get some. Somebody's getting snow. Middlesboro's getting snow. Jamestown's getting additional snow. But for Knoxville, it's a nothing burger in most cases. Nothing burger as far as what sticks. It may fall for a few minutes, but I don't think it's going to amount to much. Snow showers and flurries, though, on Friday, and those areas will be configured around the horseshoe pattern. Pavement temperatures. Will these temperatures on the pavement or roads rise up enough to help some of the snow melt? Sure, I mean, we could get into 40s, as the models would suggest this afternoon, on the pavement, on the roads. Temperatures by tonight into tomorrow morning drop into the 30s again. It's not that cold tonight, as I mentioned. But even tomorrow morning will be more likely in the 20s and 30s to start as far as pavement temperatures. So those temperatures can play a role in how much melting takes place or how much ice sticks around. It's just part of the landscape. By Saturday morning, we get very cold again. So if it's still around on Saturday, it's not likely to disappear anytime soon. Here are the temperatures around the country. I point this out because sometimes we like to look upstream in the forecast world, in the weather community, and I can see it's 0 Bismarck, 3 in Minneapolis, and 2 in Madison. And you say, why are you focused on the purple? Because the purple will eventually come back around. And it will be here as soon as this weekend. You need some evidence. Take a look at the 5,000-foot temperatures, and here it comes. Do-si-do, it's back. So what's in Bismarck could be down in Knoxville, where we're back in the single digits as early as Saturday morning. That's my expectation. It will get cold fast. There's Saturday morning. It almost looks like, was it Barney the dinosaur? It's purple. It's not a good sign when you see Buffalo, Chicago, and Montreal, but that's certainly covering most, if not all, of East Tennessee right through Saturday. Saturday night, Sunday morning, I think Sunday we're down to about 4. And then eventually we get another quote-unquote warm-up with the possibility of maybe even severe storms. Strong severe storms may come in with that surge of warm air from the Gulf of Mexico. That would be about the 26th. But then I think we're going to lock and reload where cold air is going to come back around from Canada and work its way down here into February. See, there's some more evidence. It comes back. About Groundhog Day, just when you think the little furry rodent's going to come out and see, not see a shadow, he's going to see his shadow, and he's going to predict 6 more weeks of winter. Mark my words, he'll see his shadow. He always sees his shadow. Very rarely does he not see his shadow. I think it's probably good marketing. But anyway, 11 degrees, I digress. No wind and 80% relative humidity, current temperature at McGee Tyson. All right, this is very helpful. At least I hope it is. In the next 4 minutes, this will tell you all about what you need about timing. So, Jen, if you're watching, keep an eye on what's going on at 8 o'clock. Nothing. Well, what's going on at 10 o'clock? Nothing. Clouds are increasing at 10 a.m., but nothing going on in the morning. Then we get to about 11 a.m. I see some mixing in Memphis. I thought it was supposed to be here this afternoon. Oh, it will eventually, but not at 11 a.m. Nothing going on at 11. How about noon? Still nothing. Maybe near Nashville. See some coloring there. By the time we hit 3 o'clock, boom, suddenly it's raining. And that may be stage 1. Rain changed to freezing rain, some sleet. We may see some of that in pink. That works from Nashville, Bowling Green, and then maybe even some snow across southwest Virginia. Then we go into 5 o'clock. I didn't get much. That was nothing. That was a nothing burger. Well, hang on. There's 5. Let's see. It's like, oh, yeah, it looks a little messy there tonight. And so you've got a mix that will eventually change to snow. Won't happen quickly. You have to wait for the front to pass. There's 7 a.m. tomorrow. Still not a whole lot going on in Knoxville, and I don't expect a whole lot, because it's going to take the shape, because of temperature and elevation, it's going to take the configuration of that horseshoe. It's going to work all the way around Knoxville. It's going to go out of its way to avoid us, just because we're at the bottom of the crater, so to speak, in the valley. Now, at 8 o'clock into noontime, takes the snow back up to the higher terrain, also into maybe Fentress County, perhaps into Crossville, 12 noon tomorrow, and it's still snowing at 1:45 on Friday afternoon. This is the way it looks. If you're waiting for the snow in Knoxville, it may pass by briefly, but it's pretty much a nothing burger. 2:30, it still looks like this. Still waiting. Oh, now it's disappearing. Oh, if you're new to town, this may be a surprise, but if you've lived here any length of time, this is not a surprise. This is probably how most people view all snow events. Okay, it never snows in Knoxville, but they weren't here this week. If you said, and I know some of you have, it just never snows in Knoxville. Well, where were you? It snowed on Monday. It snowed on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And we're going to get the old pattern, at least with this system. It's going to configure around southeast Kentucky. It's going to configure around areas in the Smokies especially. And it continues on with some mountain flakes on Saturday. If you need evidence there's 9:45, still moving along. Still some flakes there. And then it starts to pick up again, I believe, later on Saturday. Look at this. I think, yep, it's still snowing in Greenville. And it's still snowing over here toward Tri-Cities. That's 10 o'clock, 10:15 Saturday morning. Still snowing in the Smokies. And it's still snowing in the Smokies. That's 12 noon, and it's bitterly cold. Notice the arrows. They're coming down from Louisville and Bowling Green from the northwest. So as long as that flow of air continues to ride up into the Smokies, it's going to help elevate. That upslope snow will continue in the Smokies even Saturday afternoon. So if you're in the Smokies, you work in the Smokies, or you travel to North Carolina, the flakes will continue on Saturday, no doubt. And that's where I think we're going to pick up the lion's share of the snow once it's all said and done. High pressure moves in on Sunday. We got a mostly sunny day, but boy, is it cold in its wake, that front. Now, here's another look at it, 6:59. Temperature is going to warm up to about 30 at noontime. That sounds pretty balmy. But there's a little bit of a mix. This is a different model, but it shows you closer up the potential of what we're going to see. And you can see it seems like it's rain here. It's snow in Morristown. Maybe it's a mix in Morristown. The coloring is probably irrelevant because it's going to depend on the observer at the bottom. It's just, I think you're looking at a rain-snow mix. You got a rain-snow mix in Jamestown at 3:30 today. You got a rain-snow mix around Morristown. And this is probably a lot faster, at least the start time. That's why I kept it pretty open and vague to say 3 to 6. But again, here by 5 o'clock, the icing, the sleet, is really taking hold on this model between Crossville and Wartburg. It's kind of messy. So please be extra careful if you're on the roads because it can cause some slippery travel, no doubt. Heading into Friday, this is the way it shows. Maybe some breaks in the overcast. Then the snow comes in, just some snow showers. And that for most of us in the valley, it's a nothing burger. It's going to be like, it was nothing. It was all hyped up for nothing. I'm not hyping it up for Knoxville. I'm just suggesting to you, if you're in the southeast Kentucky, you have the best chance of getting 1 to 3 inches or more. Again, these are going to be snow showers. It's not a snowstorm. So my recap for the horseshoe effect, 0.5 to 2 over here. But that's not here. It's a big 0 here. And maybe up to ½ inch in areas around Knox County. I'm thinking Maynardville points northward. You could pick up a ½ inch. Wouldn't surprise me. But most of the activity will be around us, and it will mix with rain, sleet, freezing rain, with no snow to flurries for the southern valley. That's what I expect today. If you're on the call, I want to say hi to you. Diane Ladyhawk says it can go around East Maryville, please. She said, great live, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, Brenda. Early happy birthday. I don't know whose birthday it is. I'm catching that in midstream. Good morning from Needed97. He's on my YouTube channel. Love that. Love the fact that you're on there as well. But as we wrap up here at 7:01, just want to give you a reminder that the snow forecast has not changed. My expectation remains the same, but there will be some locally higher amounts of snow heading in even Saturday. Again, the Saturday flow of air is going to push more of the flakes in the higher terrain. I'm talking about Clingman's Dome, Mount LeConte, and Chimney Tops, for example. Today, looking for a high of 38. We go from hazy sun to increasing clouds pretty rapidly. And then afternoon, snow rain mix developing from west to east. Southwest winds will pick up 3 to 8 miles per hour, not terribly windy. Now tonight, they'll be 5 to 10 plus, and tomorrow they should be 5 to 15, gusting to 25. It will be more wind on Friday. Today's high 37 for Oak Ridge and Clinton. Today's high in Morristown, Talbot, White Pine, 37. About 41 Athens, 34 for Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County. If you're traveling today, please be extra careful. But they'll be in the lower 30s in Jackson, Tennessee, 35 Nashville, but a balmy 53 in Columbia, South Carolina. Nice and warm down there, relatively speaking. Tonight we're down to 30. That's not as cold. Then we'll go from a mix of everything, the whole kit and caboodle, rain, sleet, freezing rain. I had a little bit of everything. And then eventually it'll try to change over to some snow showers and flurries, but it'll be cloudy and the winds pick up 5 to 10 plus. As we take a look at tonight's low, this looks like normal, because the normal low of this time of year is 30. So we got a normal night tonight. We forgot what it's like to be normal. We've been on the colder side of the table, the colder side of the ledger, as it were. We're down to 29 tonight in Morristown, 24 Oneida, and should drop to about 22 in Crossville. Those are the expected lows tonight. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. I've got an 80% chance, although there's an 80%, there it is, it popped in, between tonight and tomorrow morning for the precip. It comes in, moves out. Mountain flakes continue on Saturday, but we'll call it partly cloudy here in Knoxville. It's just frigid. Start off at 7 Saturday, and then we get up to 21 if we're lucky, and then we're back to around 4 above on Sunday morning. We've got clear skies, mostly clear skies, but if there's a warm-up to be had, it's probably by the middle of next week where we have more rain developing and more clouds. It's not a sun-filled 52, it's a gray, mostly cloudy, gray night day on Tuesday, Wednesday, with temperatures in the mid-40s and lower 50s. So but just wanted to find out if you had any questions, let me know. I will do my best to answer any questions you have. I'm look on YouTube, pop up over Facebook. I see Jimbo. Jimbo says, will the rain help melt the snow? Probably what you're looking at, what do I have here? Not looking at a whole lot. We're looking at maybe 1/10 to 2/10 of liquid that we're working with. So if you think 1/10 of an inch of rain, sleet, freezing rain, all that's working into, you have to divide the pie into that. I don't know if it'll help a whole lot. It may just make, because it's going to be cold down to about 30 tonight, it's still below freezing. I don't know if it'll help melt, so you let me know. We can revisit that tomorrow. I see a note from Diane. Normal, I forgot what normal is. Yeah, normal is, I guess, all in the eye of the beholder. By the way, if you're craving for information, that's free. If you're craving for some information that is free, I urge you to download my free Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. Many of you may still feel lost in the shuffle if you're not getting the National Weather Service alerts at a minimum. At a minimum, you'll get these winter weather advisories coming into your phone in real time. There's also 3 exclusive Barron alerts, which I won't go into detail at this point because they're more geared for severe weather, but they can be life-saving, as we saw back in August when we had an EF3 roll into Lovell Road in West Knox County, because the twisting storm approaching alert went off, and the tornado warning from the Weather Service did not. So there's an advantage to getting different information from a radar company like Barron's, because they do issue to your phone a Barron Tornado Index score. You never have to look for it. It'll just pop up on your screens page. It'll pop up if it's applicable. If it applies to you, you'll get a BTI score. But you also get lightning alerts. It's free. And the best thing here, you get traffic. I've had some people ask, well, what's the roads going to be like? Pete Michaels is all over that. He's been doing that for years, decades, in fact, here in Knoxville, and he's the best in town. So check out the Captain Accurate weather app at the App Store and Google Play. It is free. If you're even needing some extra information, you can be the first to see my snow forecast, if not this go-around, but the next go-around. It's very easy. Just hit the subscribe button at the top of my Facebook post or go to CaptainAccurate.com. You'll get this URL on the screen, and you can just sign up. It's pretty easy. It's just $4.99 a month. You get so much extra. In addition to the snow forecast, you get to see every forecast I put out long before everybody else does. It could be a half hour. It could be 2 hours before everybody else does. And if that is a timely thing that your job needs, maybe you just crave to know what's going on in my brain, I'm happy to share it with you. Just sign up to Premium. We are growing and continuing on. And also, I can brag on my winter weather outlook, as Diane Bobinski pointed out, that I'm the only winter weather forecast outlook that hasn't busted yet, right? Because I had more than 8 inches in my outlook. So I know that it's exciting if you want to go back. It's been posted back before Halloween. It's a 15-minute video. It's also on the premium side of Facebook. Would love to have you watch it. Would love to have you join us anytime of the year. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Have a great day and be safe. Take care.